How are you doing today? Good, good, good. My name's KJ. I'm CEO and co-founder of Farm to Flame Energy. And we make smokeless, odorless, renewable power at half the cost of diesel. We're tackling the $4.4 trillion global power market and specifically disrupting the $23 billion diesel generator market. Our serviceable obtainable market goal is $3.4 billion in annual recurring revenue by 2032, with 4 million kilowatts installed, or enough power to light up half of New York City. In most of the US, getting electricity is as easy as turning on a switch. But 700 million people around the world do not have access to affordable and reliable clean electricity. This population relies on expensive and dirty diesel generators for constant power. It costs 3 to 4 times the regular electricity price on the grid to operate diesel generators. Toxic diesel exhaust kills over 21,000 people per year. And if for some reason they can't get their hands on diesel fuel, well, they have no power. We've built the Farm to Flame generator, a carbon-neutral electricity asset that is just as reliable as diesel, but half the cost, with no smoke and no odor. We utilize feedstocks like corn stalks, wood waste, miscanthus, and paper waste for carbon-neutral electricity generation. And one of our 30-kilowatt generators could power 3 homes, a commercial building, or a medium-sized farm. Our patented smokeless and odorless combustion process has allowed us to achieve a blue flame, equating to high combustion purity, less maintenance than traditional wood chip generators, and increased revenue. Here's a real picture of the blue flame we achieved, and here's a picture of the FTF 30-kilowatt generator that we built in 2021 with funding from the US Environmental Protection Agency. And we're cheaper than existing options. We're cheaper than diesel by half. We're cheaper than solar plus storage by 2/3, as a battery paired with the panels prohibits cost-effective baseload power. And we're cheaper than anaerobic digestion by half. Farm-to-flame generators operate at 14 cents per kilowatt hour with no methane, no conflict minerals, and no toxic emissions in our carbon-neutral supply chain. We have $5.28 million in the pipeline for 2025 to 2027. We are signed into a $20.4 million engineering, procurement, and construction agreement, plus a 3-year operation and maintenance contract with Cocoa Processing Company, a large chocolate producer for Golden Tree, in which we're converting their cocoa husk into combined heat and power. And we are signed into a service agreement with Georgia Pacific, the largest wood waste electricity producer in the country, in which we're providing a $1.7 million annual recurring revenue replacement of their natural gas paper dryers with farm-to-flame dryers. We have a world-class team of co-founders and executives who have built the Farm-to-Flame generator and have been funded by world-class organizations including Cisco, the US EPA, Bank of New York Mellon, and Georgia Pacific for over $2 million in non-dilutive funding. And we have a great team of advisors who successfully raised and exited over $515 million in their previous companies, selling to BMW, General Electric, IPO, and recently Michelin. The $5 million raise enables Farm to Flame Energy to install 1,000 kilowatts of Farm to Flame generators on the East Coast, creating an additional $1.1 million in annual recurring revenue to the $24.9 million in contracts that we have. We will commence installment of over 50 megawatts, 50 mil ARR, of Farm to Flame generators, and we will hire a world-class team of power generation specialists to help us get there. Over the next 24 months, we will abate over 396,000 tons of carbon dioxide from diesel and natural gas. Join us as we scale to 4 gigawatts with over $3.4 billion per year in revenue and $12 billion in carbon-neutral electricity assets as we expand energy security globally. Thank you so much. My name is KJ, CEO and co-founder of Farm to Flame Energy.
Hey, KJ.
Hey, Jeff.
Tell us a little bit more about your use of the funds in this upcoming raise and maybe some of the relationships that you would like to continue to build.
Yeah, so a lot of it is about business development. So we procured 5.3 megawatts with $1 million in dilutive funding, and now we're about to go execute on those. And so we are going to procure an additional 5 megawatts with this raise. If we were to raise 10, we would procure an additional 10 megawatts. And these projects are basically centered around a Linden furniture contract, our Georgia Pacific work, the cocoa processing company contract. We just started some work with Duquesne Light. And there's really all EPCs and PPAs, which is one is engineering, procurement, and construction. That's what the corporate prefers. And the PPA is where we own the generator and sell the power. And that's what certain industries like sawmills would prefer. So a lot, is into business development and project development.
So can you talk to me a little bit about your primary customers? And it sounds like, are they mostly food and like food and wood waste processors looking for cogeneration?
Yeah, that's exactly correct. Like I just went to the biomass conference in Atlanta last week, and it was a lot of forestry-based companies, paper and pulp. In fact, I'm going to a paper mill in Tyrone next week to visit their facility and do the same work we did for Georgia Pacific. That's a lot of agri-industrial, food sludge, seafood sludge, pork sludge. All of these are liabilities that cost a certain mill. It costs them like $600,000 a year just to dispose of their waste. So it's not just an energy problem, it's also a waste management problem, to your point.